Today's colloquium is unfortunately and quickly reaching and approaching its final leg, but we still have time for our final speaker of the day. For closing notes, now I welcome the former European Commissioner Carlos Moedas. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for inviting me today for your conference. Thank you very much to Daniel Traça of Nova, and thank you very much to Vasco de Melo. I'm very happy to be here for two reasons. First, to cherish the 150 years of an amazing Portuguese story, the company, the Melo family, and the history of a company with purpose. Second, to speak about something that really I care about, which is purpose in general. And purpose, I think, will be at the center of this societal reinvention, of this reconstruction that we will have to put forward as a society and as a community. I think that the years that we'll have ahead will need to be about that reinvention with purpose, a difference in what we are and what we want to build for the future, in cities, in countries, and in the world as a whole. And I think that was very interesting because in marketing, it seems clear from the discussions of today that consumers are changing. They are taking their ethos and political views to the shopping journey. There was a very interesting article in The Economist that makes this point so clearly just a couple of days ago. And we saw that in the different presentations of this afternoon that are extremely interesting. I just listened to Eduardo Sintra Torres that shows us where the consumer goes, advertising will adapt and follow, and sometimes accelerate. And at the same time, consumers search for meaning. And I think that we all search for that meaning, and Professor Norton and Professor Matt suggested and told us about it. But corporate purpose is changing beyond consumer. We saw the example of Patagonia, in the case of that Gabriel Davis and João Macedo described, how a company can really make a difference. I think the example of Patagonia is something that we all know by heart. We are all clients of Patagonia, and that is part of what the future will be about. Companies and their environmental, societal, and corporate governance responsibility will be at the top of the agenda. As an investor, as a person, I will not invest in companies that don't have that responsibility in terms of their governance, the diversity of their boards, how they look at the societal challenges and the environment. That's what people want, and the new generation will make us do so. Irene Consiglio has made the case for the positive impact of purpose organizations, and most importantly, the negative effects when purpose is missing. Then we had a very interesting panel with Catarina Gouveia, Marta Souza Uva, my friend Antonio Casanova, Ludovic Resset, that presented this idea of how to implement purpose-driven marketing strategies. And we see that today companies who are leading the way in integrating purpose into their strategy, they brought us that optimistic message for the future. And finally, Professor Campbell. Professor Campbell her research on the impact in limiting childhood obesity to improve kids' physical and psychological health. But let me tell you what I think. Let me tell you what's my point today. I think that purpose is a question of generation. My generation, especially in this country, was a very different one. We didn't seek purpose because we wanted just to find a job, because we came from a country that comes from a dictatorship, and our parents just wanted us to find a job and to have a life and to have a salary. But the new generation that is today leading and that will lead forward, and that's why I'm so passionate about this new generation, they are making it very different because they want purpose, not just from themselves as a person, but from everybody. They want to find purpose, and they don't want to get a job. They don't want to go as I went when I was very young to banking. They want to go to eventually a bank that has purpose. They want to go to a company that has purpose, and they want others to have purpose. And that's why I'm so hopeful and optimistic about the future. Second, I think that purpose is a question of leadership, of political leadership, of corporate leadership. And that is what is missing today, is that leadership with purpose. And when you go back to history, you see a lot of leaders that were able to get that purpose to people. When John F. Kennedy said, "I want to put a man on the moon," he created purpose for all of us. It was not about putting a man on the moon, it was exactly to create that purpose. The small story that I sometimes tell about when Kennedy got into the NASA center and there was a janitor just brooming the corridor. And he asked, "Sir, what are you doing here?" asked the president. And the janitor said, "Mr. President, I'm here to help putting a man on the moon." That is purpose, is when the guy that is brooming the corridor knows the mission, knows the purpose of the company, is when everybody in your company is fighting for something concrete and something that they can feel and that they are proud when they get home at night. That's what leadership is, and that's what purpose is about. And third, I think that purpose is about survival. It's about the survival of our society. If we don't get in a society where a circular economy is at the center, if we don't have a society with science is at the center. You saw that, vaccines. We got the new vaccine in 1 year. It was purpose. It was the amazing ability of science. So I wish you the very best for the next couple of days. And I really thank you for inviting me today. So thank you to all and have a rest nice of your day.